How is everyone? How are we all going? Oh, I'm a little bit far away from the chair, so my cable's not going to quite make it. I might pull that in a bit and hope it doesn't alter the landscape too much here. Jamie Pooh's 1985, thank you for joining. Dr. Akers, thank you for joining. That hasn't seemed to ruin the stream too much by me pulling that in a bit. Give me a bit more cable space, give me a bit more flexibility with the stream here. Alex Moores, Johnny Edwards, Jamie Poos, Robert Akers. Sound is great. Good to hear. I'm using a different mic tonight, so I'm going to try this mic, but my cable's not long enough. I've just realised, so I'm going to have to maybe get a new cable, maybe get a longer cable. Anyway. Thank you all for joining in. Thank you all for being a part of the stream tonight. It is, of course, Sunday night. It's always the most casual of live streams, and tonight's no different. Because I'm just here in my office. It's 8 o'clock on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday, and I've had a monster of a day, and I've had a monster of a week because I've just finished wrapping up the 3 days at Archie Rose, which was fantastic. Dr. Akers, thank you so much for dropping in on the Thursday night. That was really lovely. Hello from me, the All Alliance. Oh, you are in Singapore, Alex. Yes, of course you are. Hello from Sydney. Yeah, no, it was a really good time catching up with all the members, catching up with everyone and even the non-members, and we've got quite a few sign-ups on the night, which was great. So some new members came along as well, which was fantastic. Whiskey Jusmo, Mauro Palacini, Nice Man joined. That's quite a mouthful. Malia Barry, good to see you, mate. Yeah, look, we did this. We had a really lovely 3 nights at Archie Rose there, which was fantastic. And that's what tonight I'm just going to talk a bit about the activation, what it meant to us, what it meant to you. Any comments, any feedback, anything you want to tell us about what you loved about it, what you could have been improved, what you liked, what you didn't like. Because Archie Rose said at the end that they want to do it again, and I'm like, well, I want to do it again, so it'd be great to do it again. Jill and Neely joined. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. And it was a chance for us to sort of, share something quite special with the members and open so many nice things. So the menu, which I don't have a copy in front of me, of course, because I'm extremely organised on a Sunday evening. The menu was a mixture of, first of all, dearly departed whiskies. Whiskies that no longer exist on planet Earth, which was fantastic to open those up and share them around. The second category was definitely current releases. So some things that were in September and October Outturn, especially. Some current releases and some very recent releases, maybe 1 or 2 from August. And then the third category that we opened at the bar was future releases. So dearly departed, current and future releases, all on one bar. I want to thank you, everyone who's in the stream or watches this later, for coming down to Archie Rose for those 3 nights, because that was really fantastic for all those members to enjoy and be a part of. I had the pleasure of ruining my shoulder this morning, so I'm a little bit weak tonight. a bit of an accident this morning, which I won't go into, but it means that I'm in a lot of pain tonight. And so last night, after we finished the Archie Rose pop-up, Kathleen, it's been a while. Una Mas Por Favor joined as well. Whiskey Sec joined. Thank you so much for everyone for joining in. After the pop-up finished last night, I finished off. There was literally 20 mils in this bottle of 124.4, and because I've got the camera around the right way this time, I'll show you that label nice and clear for you there, which is the a very much a dearly departed 17-year-old Japanese single cask. Something very special to taste there and to share around. So I think we got through there was about a third of that left at the partner bar at Archie Rose the other night. So that got killed off, and there wasn't quite enough to give a full dram to anyone at the end. So I treated myself to one of them. But tonight I'm going to treat myself to something else, something a bit different. I didn't put the bike sideways, did you? No. I did go for a ride actually this morning, Robert, but no, I stayed upright. But it was just actually, it was far more embarrassing, I'll be honest. I literally tripped on a grate and my arm caught the fence near it, and it pulled the socket out and sort of twisted my arm back, and it still bloody hurts. So I might go see a physio tomorrow, see how I go, see how I wake up. So that's why I'm probably looking, even I can see on the camera of myself, I'm looking a bit high on this side. Oh, anyway, I won't share my pain with you too much. Bob Wenting joined. Good to see you, Bob. I don't know what time it is where you are, but thanks for tuning in for yet another live stream. So tonight, I'm going to explore a whiskey that is an upcoming Outturn favourite. A favourite. One that's coming up in the Christmas Outturn. Now, we're in the home stretch now towards Christmas Outturn. The 15th of November, it's a Friday, the 15th of November, in the full Outturn gets released. So that's extremely, sounds dramatic, 10 style points. 11 a.m. Sounds like you need a generous pour tonight. Yes. Oh, God. No, yes, I do. You don't really get a chance to drink much whilst you're at the bar, because I actually drove in 2 out of the 3 nights because I had so much stock I had to transport around the place, and by the time I get home at 12:45 a.m., it's like I'm just too tired to have a drink. I actually poured myself one on the Friday night, and I was like, I'm going to have just one drink before I go to bed, and I poured a dram, and I sat on the couch for a moment and started nodding off straight away. So I was like, okay, I should go to bed anyway. I'm going to open this. Here's the sound test. Oh, that hurt. I'm going to pour a dram of this one. I'm going to hold that up for you all to see. Casual Sponge Cake. So 39.177. Of course, that's Distillery 39, Cask 177, Casual Sponge Cake. I'm going to pour a dram of that for myself. I think I need it tonight. I think I deserve it tonight. Just one small dram of that. What do we got here? So we have, this was on the pop-up bar for Archie Rose the last 3 nights. It is an upcoming release, this one. Monarch Perth, good to see you. Sally, I was just talking about the pop-up, our pop-up bar with Archie Rose the last 3 nights, and how much fun it was. And I want to thank you as well personally for coming down. I think it was on the Friday night. I think it was you were there on the Friday, I think. The days all sort of meld into each other at the moment. I'm pretty tired. Yeah, and I want to thank you personally for being a part of it and for coming down and experiencing it. Whew. That's lovely. There's something about our 39s. They're often quite sort of like kind of like floral. Kind of there's almost like the spirit character is quite rich, but it's not oily rich. It's more like floral rich, but in a really lovely way. Distillery 39 starts with L and ends in wood. It's a delightful distillery. It's a space cider that is really a cream of the crop for so many blenders and so many of just Diageo's distilleries use it for their blends. Use it for so they use Linkwood is used for blends such as Johnny Walker, among others. I think Hague's used to use it. I'm not sure who uses it at the moment, but it still is a core component of Johnny Walker. I think they mostly use it in the black and gold. Ooh. That's taking a bit to for the ethanol to sort of really bounce off that glass. It is 63.1. It's held up its proof quite a bit. Sam IBP, good to see you, Sam. Good to see you again, Sam, of course. What was the pick of the pop-up? Really good question, Kathleen. The pick of the pop-up. That's a hard one. I mean, I think the 73.107, which was a 20-year-old sherried whiskey, was very high. Got hit very heavily, actually. That was really popular. Oh yeah, I mean the 139.1 got hit a fair bit. Actually, the 10.167, a Western Wanderer. I don't have that on the table, but there's a bottle here somewhere. Which was it's an Islay whiskey, but it's a sort of an unusual. It's an unpeated Islay whiskey, a bit like what Brooklady do, but it's not Brooklady Distillery. This one, it's Distillery 10, not 23. They'll need a bit of time, that one, or a bit of water. I think a bit of water will really tame it. I'm actually going to add water. I'm going to add water before I even taste it, because that's 63.1%. A few drops really just to open it up a bit, being natural cask strength. Just a dribble there, just a few drops. Oh, yeah, good point. The 46 was smashing. Yes, Ruby Booze Day, it's called. It was a 20-year-old from Distillery 46. That was fantastic. Andrew, our cellar master, dropped in on the Friday night, I think. Yeah, Friday night as well. Yes, I'm getting that right. And actually tasted the 4669, I think the code is in that one, the Ruby Booze Day. He rated it. He really rated it. I think it's a lovely one. There's two casks actually from 46 we've had recently. 46.69 and 46.72. The .72 are the 25-year-old. They're both delicious in their own way. The 20 and 25 are just delicious. I'd say the 20 has just a little bit more pizzazz almost, but the 25 was stately and grassy and lovely and old. I mean, I love them both. They both have their time and place. That 4669's not been released yet formally, so keep an eye out for that one. We'll have that out soon. Morning from Dublin, yes. And 10.167 is a beautiful dram. Una mas por favor, you are correct. Western Wanderer. It wasn't actually originally called that. The cask got renamed at the last minute, but I couldn't possibly tell you what it was named originally. It was a bit out of left field, if you know what I mean. A bit crazy, as the panel sometimes do. That water's worked wonders. The spirit character is just gleaming in that one. If I was to guess, I've probably watered it only down to sort of 57, 56, 57%, but it's out of that magic mid-50s spot. Adding water to your whiskey extends the life. It's like you get so much more out of a bottle because you're adding water as you go. Oh, delightful. Sponge cake is bang on the money. Sometimes the panel name these casks, and even just the name is just so accurate of what you're tasting. It says on the label, and I'll read this verbatim, crumbled shortbread and digestive biscuits sat beside lemon sponge cake with milk chocolate, cinnamon and pineapple and mango sorbet. It couldn't be more accurate than that. It's crumbled shortbread, digestive biscuits, lemon sponge cake and milk chocolate. That's what's going on here. So this is what I would personally call a remarkable, like a summer whiskey, a real sort of summer dram. One that's great for sort of like a Sunday afternoon, or in this case Sunday evening kind of whiskey. And you'll notice, for those who are keen, I'm using our SCS glass. As I said, just finishing the Archeros pop-up last night. My office is an absolute pigsty of boxes, stock, glassware, unfiltered, and things like that everywhere. So I couldn't actually find a standard society copper to share this in. So I'm just using one of our spirit glasses, but it's a lovely glass to enjoy all sorts of spirits in. Andrew joined. Good to see Andrew. Monarch Perth sold. What is the distillery, Bailey? The distillery, Bailey, is it rhymes with Pinkwood. There you go. That's a good way to put it. Distillery 39. Adam Hoff. Good to see Adam. The sponge cake will definitely be on my Christmas shopping list. Yes, Sally, it's one of those, if I'm being honest, it's I wouldn't use the word sleeper cask because I have used for others, but it's one of those whiskeys that it's just a delightful drinker. It's just got so much, like the lemon drizzle sponge cake is just bang on, and that milk chocolate note, it's delightful. And easy to overlook because these are the kind of casks that are easy to overlook because everyone's going to be hunting the big whiskies, and the kind of codes that I think sometimes people go a bit silly over codes when in fact they're all panel approved. It's like I had a new member actually say to me on Saturday night saying he found it very difficult and he wasn't able to get a bottle of the 33.137, and I said, well, every single box of them came with an instruction not to sell it by the bottle, it was by the dram only. So yeah, that's lovely. That's lovely. That's gonna actually open right up. What? Look, it's just Linkwood. How many times? There's no other way I can actually say that. We're not even supposed to say the distillery name, but look, it's Linkwood. It's a key blending distillery for Diageo, and a lot of it goes into Diageo's blends, and other blenders buy stocks, and every so often the society get to buy a few casks from them. That will pass panel, and that's a 10-year-old in the Juicy Oak and Vanilla. I'm going to hold that one up one more time with the label the right way up this time. Here we go. So yes, Linkwood. Yeah, there you go. It's now 2 words. I can't get away with anything on a casual Sunday, can I? So really, that's my wrap of the whole sort of like the the pop-up bar. It was really great to meet so many members, so many people to come along. It was a really sort of member-focused night on the Thursday night, if I'm being honest. It was like a lot of great sort of just like really great camaraderie between members and between sort of like seeing so many familiar faces. The Friday was a bit more of a party, which was great. And it sort of kicked on well past sort of 10 p.m. on the Friday, which was great. And then the Saturday, sort of we closed off a bit early on the Saturday because the crowd was a bit of a tough crowd, I'll put it that way. And you've got to read the crowd, just like you do at an event. If you're hosting an event, you read the crowd, you get a feel for what's working and what's not, and the context of what you're saying. And if you start talking about mash temperatures and people don't know what even a single malt is, it's like, okay, let's dial it back a bit. I think I've spoken about that before. But it's the same. I've discovered this the same when working behind the bar and serving whiskies. It's not much different. You've got to read the crowd, and it was Jonathan, who is the bar manager there, who it was one point he came up on the Saturday night at about 10 o'clock and saw people using our glass pipettes to spray each other's cocktails into each other's faces. Not our cocktails, not my terrible society cocktails that I made, my extremely blasphemous single cask cocktails. It was getting a little bit silly up there. So he said, "Work, let's close this down, close the bar up. We're done here." I was like, "That's fine." You've got to sort of adapt to the audience and adapt to the time of how long you're there. Thursday was brilliant, good sized crew. Yeah, the room was ours, Robert. It was just great. How did the lotto go on Saturday? Good question. So the lotto, I did a dram lotto on Saturday where you paid $15 like for a full-size dram, and which is a remarkable value to begin with, and you got to pick out a piece of paper which is a cutout of the menu, and you may have got a $79 dram, you may have got a $35 dram, but at the very least you got a $15 dram, but it was a mystery dram. So if you'd already looked through the menu and didn't know what to get, go for a mystery dram. You might get something incredible for $15. It was good fun. Love you too, Kathleen. I think the Thursday live stream goes straight to the highlight reel. The Thursday live stream was good fun, actually. That was ridiculous. I don't think I've got that one up on YouTube just yet. I'm sorry, but I will. That one needs to go up. That was a bit of fun, and I'll share that around as one of our highlights on our Instagram as well, and I'll put it in the Facebook group, of course. Wazza21 joined. Thanks so much, Wazza. So then I was just talking about the casual sponge cake. It's time to start leaking some of the details of our Christmas Outturn. It's our massive festive bumper issue Outturn. It's a November-December issue. And once we've got this published as a team, we're sort of like, okay, there we go. We don't have to think about a December Outturn too much because it's like, here's a double issue. It's a huge relief for us to be able to share something as massive as well. I think it's something like, it's already sitting at, 48 pages or something. It's massive. There's a lot of bottlings to pick from. There's a lot of things happening. There's all the Christmas parties. There's all the member stories in there. There's a lot going on in the Christmas Outturn, but just starting at the bottom, starting right at the top or at the bottom, however you like it, is talking a little bit about casual sponge cake. So like I said, it's a powerhouse blending distillery these days, and always pretty much has been. And it's a single malt, single cask, 10-year-old from Distillery 39. The Magic Manny joined. Robert Akers says, Malt of the Month is definitely 139.1. Yeah, definitely that one. Yeah. No, I'm afraid 139.1 is not actually getting formally released. You'll be able to taste it at a few of our upcoming events. We'll share it around at different things coming up in Melbourne and in Sydney, and possibly Adelaide and Brisbane, and maybe even Hobart. So keep an eye out. But it won't get a formal feature at in an Outturn. I'm afraid there wasn't just enough bottles of it. But that's okay. That's how it goes. Sometimes it means that we get to share it with as many members as possible. That's what it's about. And so no, you probably won't see a 139 as a Malt of the Month anytime soon. But we're pretty happy with the Malt of the Month for Christmas. I can't reveal what that is just yet, but we're very happy with it. It's very exciting to have to do what we're doing for Malt of the Month, which is really a diplomatic way of saying I'm not telling you anything about it yet. But this is exciting though. It's exciting to be able to taste something like casual sponge cake. This was one of the hits, of course, at our Archeros pop-up. As I said, it starts off... Oh, my arm. Oh, the shoulder. Okay. It starts off at 63.1%. I added water, actually, before I even tasted it. I was nosing it without water, but I added water before I even tasted it because I just knew at that proof. I personally really love the whiskies, especially bourbon cask whiskies, sitting around that sort of mid to high 50s. Like if I, that's not really a rule of thumb, and some whiskies are really integrated even in high 60s. But it's about, just for me, how I'm feeling tonight. A few drops of water really helped it out. But I'm not doing a review. It's already past panel, like I said. It's already got so much going on. That lemon drizzle cake and milk chocolate note, I think, is right on. So the other question I had for Go Adelaide, 170 and 24 bottles. I don't, Robert. I don't know. Go Adelaide. Whiskey Mansom joined. Good to see you. We love Adelaide. So yes. My other question for you as an audience is to ask, do you love these pop-ups? I'd love to know if you'd love to see more of these kind of things. I'll be honest, they're incredibly taxing because there's only one of me. And it's a chance for us to do these kind of things in different cities where we set up for maybe 2 or 3 nights even, like we did with Arturo's. Arturo's is 3 nights. That's pretty massive. I mean, we did a pop-up in Perth, but that was a full day and night. And then we've done a pop-up in... Well, we don't really do them in Melbourne, I'll be honest. We haven't really done them in Melbourne because, I'll be completely honest with you, Whiskey and Helmet is basically a permanent society bar. They've got everything, they get everything. If I try and bring a range of goodies, it's like, well, they've already got them. So it's kind of like, they already are such an amazing partner bar of ours, so me trying to bring anything extra to that table is sort of like... I know a lot of Melbourne members will be sort of like, oh, what's it about? I was thinking maybe we could do something else with them. And obviously, we do a lot of events with them already, but as a pop-up, it's a bit sort of... sustainable pop-ups, mate. Sustainable pop-ups. You mean like an ongoing one? It's crossed my mind. Don't worry. A festive Perth pop-up. Yeah, well, we did it. Mike, Perth, we did a Perth pop-up back in February. It's a little while ago now, a few months ago. At the beginning of the year, we did it was around, it was just after Valentine's Day, I think. Sort of late Feb, we did one, or was it maybe in early Feb, sorry, just before Valentine's Day, we did one in Perth, which was great. That was a lot of fun. I did that with Xander and Brendan and the team at Bar Lafayette, and that was great. And then we did the Valentine's Day tasting in Adelaide, which I hosted with Jenny, which was fantastic. So, we've got some things like that happening. We've got a lot of events. We had done a lot of events this year, and still quite a few to go. I think the dinner, the 11th of the 11th, the Monday night dinner in Sydney with Franz Schura has just about sold out, if not completely. Last time I checked, but it was a couple of days ago, there was like 1 ticket left or something like that. And then the Christmas parties on the 6th and 7th, 3rd, 6th, 7th, 8th around the country. Those dates will go up on the website ASAP. Trust me, they'll be up maybe as early as tomorrow. If I wake up. Whiskey Gaucho joined. Evening, apologies I'm late this evening. Evening, doctor. No. It's all right, Gaucho. You can always rewatch this back on live, of course. You can watch these stories on Instagram live, and you can always catch us what we're doing. I want to thank Andrew for his remarkable live the other night talking about the history of Australian whiskey and whiskey appreciation, in Australia, and Norman Case and a few other names that he dropped there about some of the history of sort of people who've really created the scene. And then he did the ultimate baller move of putting... It looked like he did this anyway. I'll have to ask him. It looked like he had an Ardbeg, a 33.119, and he poured it into a glass, and I think he finished it, and then he used the same glass and put 7.38, 68, I can't remember the code, sorry, a 1960s bottling of a 7 into the same glass, I think there's precisely one person in Australia who can get away with that, and his name is Andrew Durbidge. So that's an absolutely baller move, if in fact that's what happened. Fashionably late, yes, indeed. Oh, it's lovely. You know, for those who've been members for a while, you may remember in the old format tasting notes, it used to come with a drinking tip. As in like a scenario or sort of a time and place of when to enjoy it. I kind of miss that a bit. I mean, that was sort of something that we used to do. And I mean, we still provide them sort of in the tasting notes now. It's sort of been more integrated, like best enjoyed on a summer's evening kind of thing. But they were very specific and sometimes quite ridiculous examples of where where the whiskey would be best placed. If I was to put this into any category, it'd be Sunday afternoon tea with a lemon drizzle cake and a glass of 39-177. It's kind of that one where it's like a sweet lemon sponge cake and a bit of this and a glass of this on the side would just make for a remarkably relaxed Sunday afternoon before having to hit the bricks on a Monday morning, of course. So I'm going to put my note down for that. My last little announcement tonight before I get out of here is that Murray, or Muzzman, has been dishing out the latest malt whiskey yearbook, and he and I are going to meet up shortly, and we're going to do another live stream and talk about malt whiskey yearbook. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So it's a yearly book. It's basically like the yearly sort of techie sort of whiskey bible of all things whiskey. There was the 2019, the fluorescent orange cover. And now it's back to a green cover for 2020. For those of the keen, I can see I've already kind of destroyed my 2020 copy, thanks to leaving the book underneath the sink at Archie Rose. It wasn't much space to leave things, so it's gotten a little bit soggy, but it'll dry out. As for tomorrow night, I will be live. Now, I'm going to just preface that by saying I can't set a countdown. I don't know what time it will be, and the live might not be so much of a structured sort of chat. It'll be sort of snippets from the Icons of Whiskey Awards, which is tomorrow night. So the awards start at 6:30. We'll be going on probably late into the night, and it'll be sort of an evening of from the Icons of Whiskey. If I'm not planning on winning anything, of course, because I'm in a very competitive category, and we're a small fish in a big pond here. But I really want to thank you all for your support. Anyone who voted for me, anyone who threw their hat in the ring for me, I really appreciate it. And same for anyone who threw their hat in the ring for Andrew for Whiskey and Wisdom as a blog. And of course for, I'm having a mental blank. Well, look, and for Oak Barrel, a single barrel retailer. Who else took out awards who's on nomination? I'm so brain dead today. I'm really sorry. Well, look, I know Andrew got nominated for Whiskey and Wisdom blog. And I know I'm up for Scotch Whisky Ambassador. So that's really exciting, and I'm really excited to be able to go to the Icons of Whiskey tomorrow night, and you'll see snippets of it on our Instagram feed. Thank you so much again for tuning in tonight. Oh, Whiskey and Almond, sorry, yes, of course, Robert Akers, sorry, yes, thank you, God. Whiskey and Almond also nominated for as a key partner bar, nominated as Bar of the Year, which would be fantastic if they took that out as well. So that's all for me tonight. I've gone on for about 30 minutes waffling on about stuff. Everyone who's tuned in tonight, thank you so much for being a part of it. There's our first Christmas teaser, our first proper Christmas teaser, and having a taste of that for you right now. Like I say, I'm not really big into review videos of me reviewing something that you don't have access to yet. So I'm not reviewing it. I'm just having a chat about some of the lovely tasting notes there. I've got something in my glass. Anyway, I'm sure he didn't drink too much. I'm going to finish that off. I'm going to take it easy tonight because I've had a massive weekend, and with all the Archie Rose running around like a headless chook. Thank you everyone who came to Archie Rose. Thank you everyone who's tuned in, of course, and I'll see you all for snippets tomorrow night. Cheers. Bye for now.